The moment you try to force your manifestation to happen a certain way, it starts slipping out of reach. You double-check signs, chase timelines, replay conversations, refresh notifications, and tighten your grip on the outcome, thinking control will make it real faster. But control doesn't create results, it creates resistance. Manifestation moves when you stop micromanaging the how, stop demanding proof, and stop treating every delay like failure. The shift happens when you set the intention, take one clear action, then release the rest. Not quitting, releasing. Not ignoring, allowing. The question is simple: what changes when you stop holding so tightly? Quantum manifestation is a concept that intrigues and fascinates many of us. It's the idea that our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape the reality we experience, an empowering and liberating thought. However, there's a fundamental paradox in this idea that often goes unnoticed. The moment you try to control the outcome of your manifestation, you're actually blocking the very thing you desire. The truth is, manifestation flows most effortlessly when you stop controlling and begin to surrender. This surrender isn't about giving up your desires. Rather, it's about releasing the grip you have on how things should unfold. The struggle with control is something that we all can relate to. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to take charge of our lives, to make things happen, and to go after what we want. It's all about action, direction, and striving. This creates a mindset where we often feel that we have to force things into existence, whether that's our career, relationships, or personal growth. But what if the key to actually attracting what you desire isn't through pushing or striving, but through releasing and surrendering? For many, this concept feels counterintuitive. How could surrendering be the answer? Isn't it our willpower and focus that bring things to life? In reality, our constant grip on our desires keeps us locked in a cycle of control, where we're not allowing the universe, or whatever higher force you believe in, to work its magic. We've been taught to believe that we need to do everything ourselves, that if we don't push, nothing will happen. But this belief only keeps us stuck. It creates a deep sense of fear, as if we must always be on guard to ensure things go our way. And in this energy of fear, manifestation becomes a struggle, not a flow. When we hold on to control, we are holding on to fear. The fear of not having enough, not being enough, not getting what we want. This fear creates resistance, which in turn blocks our ability to manifest what we truly desire. Imagine trying to hold on to something with a tight grip. The tighter you hold, the more the object slips away from your fingers. This is exactly what happens with manifestation. The more we try to control it, the less likely we are to experience it. The act of surrendering in manifestation is not about passivity or inaction. It's about trust. Trusting that what you desire is already on its way, trusting that you are worthy of it, and trusting that the universe will bring it to you in the right way and at the right time. Surrendering control means releasing the need to dictate the how and when of your manifestation. You begin to let go of the resistance, the impatience, and the doubts that have kept you stuck. One of the most profound shifts happens when you realize that the very act of wanting something so badly can sometimes be what keeps it from you. This is because wanting implies lack. It implies that you don't already have what you desire, which is a vibration that repels the manifestation. When you stop holding on so tightly, you begin to open up the space for your manifestation to naturally flow toward you. It's like a river. When the water is dammed up with resistance, it cannot flow. But when the dam is released, the water flows freely and effortlessly. Manifestation is a dance between intention and surrender. It's setting your intention, taking inspired action, and then stepping back and allowing the universe to take the lead. It's a co-creative process where you play an active role, but you also recognize that you don't need to control every step of the way. You are the creator, yes, but you are not the sole orchestrator of the process. The universe, or your higher self, the quantum field, or whatever term resonates with you, is always working behind the scenes, rearranging things in ways that you may not even understand. The more you can align your energy with trust, the more effortlessly your manifestations will flow toward you. Think of a plant growing in the soil. It doesn't need to constantly try to control its growth. It simply follows the natural laws of nature, receiving sunlight, water, and nourishment. When you stop forcing the process, your desires will grow in much the same way, naturally, beautifully, and at the perfect pace. This doesn't mean you should be passive or indifferent about your desires. No, it means you should take action from a place of alignment and trust. When you release control, you are no longer acting out of fear or desperation. Instead, you are inspired by a sense of abundance and possibility. Your actions will feel more aligned, more in flow, and less like a constant uphill battle. It's about shifting your energy to one of openness, curiosity, and receptivity. When you do this, the universe can work in ways that you might never have imagined. It's important to understand that releasing control isn't about ignoring your desires or abandoning them. It's about trusting that your desires are already on their way to you. By releasing control, you allow yourself to be in alignment with the flow of the universe, rather than forcing things into being. In this space of alignment, your energy becomes magnetic. You naturally attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that match the frequency of your desires. Surrendering is also about letting go of the need to know how everything will unfold. This is often the hardest part for people because we live in a world that values certainty and predictability. But when it comes to manifestation, certainty is often the very thing that keeps us from experiencing what we want. When you try to predict every detail of your manifestation, you're limiting the vastness of what's possible. You're not allowing the universe to surprise you with better opportunities and outcomes than you could have ever imagined. Imagine a scenario where you meet a person or you come across an opportunity that you never expected but that perfectly aligns with your desires. That's the magic of surrender. When you stop controlling and start trusting, the universe can surprise you in the most wonderful ways. But you have to be open to this. You have to let go of the need for things to happen in a specific way or timeline, and trust that the universe knows better than you. In the end, the key to quantum manifestation is not in striving but in aligning. It's in tuning into the energy of your desires and allowing the natural flow of the universe to bring them to you. It's about surrendering control and embracing trust, knowing that when you let go, everything you desire is already on its way. When you stop forcing, you open the door to a world of limitless possibilities, where your desires are no longer distant, but already on the verge of unfolding. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to release the grip on your desires and allow them to flow to you? What if you could trust the process, knowing that everything is working out for you, even if you don't have all the answers yet? In that space of trust, the magic of quantum manifestation becomes possible, and when it happens effortlessly. The nature of control is one of the most powerful forces in our lives, and it often shapes our experiences more than we realize. For most of us, control feels like a safety net, something we rely on to navigate the unpredictability of life. It's natural to want to manage our circumstances, shape our outcomes, and steer our lives in the direction we desire. But control, when taken to the extreme, can actually work against us. It's a subtle yet powerful force that keeps us locked in patterns of resistance and fear, making it one of the biggest barriers to manifestation and personal growth. Control stems from fear, and this fear often masquerades as a need for security, certainty, and stability. It's the voice inside that says, if I don't manage this, I won't get what I want, or, if I don't do this perfectly, everything will fall apart. At the core of this is the fear of the unknown, the fear of things not turning out as we expect, and the deep-seated belief that we must constantly oversee everything to ensure it works out. We feel that if we don't take charge, we will lose the very things we desire. However, the truth is that this need to control is rooted in a mindset of lack, not abundance. Control arises when we believe that we are not enough, or that the universe is not abundant enough, to provide for us in the way we desire. It's as if we are in a constant state of doing and achieving, trying to force our reality into alignment with our desires, rather than allowing those desires to unfold naturally. This mindset keeps us perpetually striving, always pushing, and never allowing ourselves to simply be. What happens when we hold on too tightly to control is that we create resistance. Resistance comes from the fear of not having enough or not being enough, which creates tension in our energy. Instead of attracting what we want, we repel it because our energy is contracted, anxious, and desperate. This resistance shows up in many forms: doubt, impatience, frustration, and even anger. These are all signs that we are trying to force our desires into being rather than allowing them to come to us naturally. Think about a time when you really wanted something, but the harder you tried to make it happen, the further it seemed to slip away. Perhaps you tried to control the outcome of a relationship, or you worked tirelessly to manifest a specific job or financial goal, but nothing seemed to fall into place. This is the power of control at work. It creates a disconnect between your desires and the flow of manifestation. You are so focused on controlling the how and the when that you lose sight of the bigger picture and the natural flow of energy that brings things into being. On the other hand, when we release control, something beautiful begins to unfold. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to passivity. It means letting go of the desperate need to manage every aspect of our lives. It means choosing to trust that we don't have to figure everything out. Instead, we can simply set our intentions, take aligned actions, and then step back, allowing the universe to arrange things in ways that may even surpass our expectations. The idea of surrender is often misunderstood. It's not about being passive or complacent. but rather about aligning yourself with the flow of life and trusting that everything will unfold as it should. When you release control, you create space for the universe to work its magic. You no longer feel the need to micromanage every detail of your life. Instead, you trust that what you desire will come to you in the right way and at the right time. This trust opens the door to new possibilities that you may not have been able to see when you were locked in a mindset of control. When you release control, you also release the energy of resistance. Instead of forcing things to happen, you allow them to flow toward you. This doesn't mean you sit idly by and wait for things to happen. Rather, it means you shift your mindset from "I must control this" to "I am open to whatever is meant for me." You stop chasing and instead you start attracting. When you release your grip, your desires have room to come to you effortlessly. This shift from control to surrender is a journey of self-awareness. It requires you to confront the deeper fears and insecurities that fuel your need to control. It means looking at the parts of yourself that feel unworthy, inadequate, or fearful, and recognizing that these feelings are the root cause of your need to force things to happen. When you can recognize these fears, you can begin to heal them and step into a more aligned and trusting version of yourself. One of the most powerful ways to start releasing control is through the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you become aware of your thoughts and emotions without being attached to them. It allows you to observe your inner world with curiosity and compassion, rather than judgment or resistance. By becoming more mindful, you can begin to identify when you're slipping into patterns of control and gently redirect yourself back to a place of surrender. Another powerful tool is meditation. Meditation helps quiet the mind and bring you into the present moment. In meditation, you let go of the need to control your thoughts and simply observe them as they arise. This practice cultivates a sense of inner peace and allows you to develop a deeper sense of trust in the process of life. As you meditate, you begin to shift from the need to control to a more balanced state of being, where you are open to receiving without effort or resistance. Affirmations are another helpful tool for releasing control. Affirmations like, "I trust the process of life," or, "I am open to receiving all that is meant for me," can help reprogram your subconscious mind and shift your belief system away from fear and control toward trust and surrender. Repeating these affirmations daily can help reinforce the belief that you don't need to force things to happen. Instead, you can trust that the universe is always working in your favor. The key to releasing control is understanding that it's not about giving up on your desires. It's about trusting that your desires are already on their way to you, even if you can't see them yet. When you let go of the need to micromanage your life, you create the space for miracles to happen. It's in this space of surrender that you allow your manifestations to come to life. When you trust the process, your desires will come to you in ways that are beyond what you could have planned or predicted. In essence, the act of surrendering is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. It's a recognition that you don't need to do everything on your own, that you don't have to control every outcome. It's a willingness to let go of the need for certainty and embrace the unknown. In doing so, you allow your true power to emerge, and you create the conditions for quantum manifestation to flow effortlessly into your life. The more you release control, the more you align with your highest self and the natural flow of the universe. You stop fighting against life and start flowing with it. You begin to trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you can't always see it. And in this space of trust, everything you desire starts to manifest with ease. The power of surrender is the key to unlocking your deepest desires and stepping into a life of limitless possibilities. The concept of the quantum field is one of the most fascinating and transformative aspects of reality creation. It's the unseen force, the energetic fabric of existence, that connects everything in the universe: your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your physical reality. At its core, the quantum field is the source of all possibility, and it responds directly to your energy, frequency, and consciousness. The idea that our reality is not fixed, but rather is malleable and responsive to our inner state, is both profound and empowering. Understanding this is a crucial step in realizing how we can manifest our desires effortlessly, simply by aligning our energy with what we want to create. One of the most empowering aspects of this understanding is realizing that we are not separate from the quantum field, we are inherently connected to it. In fact, the quantum field is not something outside of us, it is within us. Everything we think, feel, and believe is an expression of the quantum field, and in turn, it reflects back to us the reality we are vibrating at. This means that if you want to shift your reality, you must first shift your energy. Your external world is simply a mirror of your internal state. It's an energetic reflection of your consciousness. The energy of the quantum field is not bound by time or space. It operates on the principle that everything is interconnected, and that all possibilities exist simultaneously. In this vast field of potential, your thoughts and emotions send out vibrations that influence the field and, in turn, shape the reality you experience. This is where manifestation comes into play. The power to manifest is directly tied to your ability to align your energy with the frequency of your desires. The more aligned you are, the more your energy resonates with the energy of your desires, the more likely those desires will manifest in your physical reality. When we operate from a place of control and fear, our energy becomes dense, contracted, and resistant. We are essentially vibrating at a lower frequency, one that is out of alignment with the abundance and flow that is available to us. The struggle, the frustration, and the anxiety we feel when we try to force things into being are all indicators that we are out of alignment with the quantum field. This misalignment prevents us from receiving the things we desire, because the energy we are putting out is not in harmony with the energy of what we want to attract. The opposite is also true. When we align with the quantum field by releasing control, trusting the process, and surrendering to the flow of life, we raise our vibration. This is where the true magic of manifestation happens. When we trust, we move into a state of flow. Our energy becomes expansive, open, and in harmony with the infinite possibilities of the quantum field. In this state, we are naturally attracting everything we desire because our energy is now in resonance with the frequency of abundance, love, success, or whatever it is that we seek. We become magnetic to our desires. However, this doesn't mean that manifestation is instant or always predictable. The quantum field is not a vending machine that delivers what you want exactly when you ask for it. It is a dynamic, ever-changing force that is constantly adjusting to your energy. Manifestation is a process of aligning with the right frequency, but it's also about having faith and patience in the process. Often, the most significant shifts in our lives come after we've let go of the need to control how they unfold. When you trust that the field is always responding to you, even when things aren't happening exactly as you expected, you open up to the possibility that what you want might come in a form even better than you imagined. This is the beauty of the quantum field. It's full of infinite possibilities, and when we let go of our limited beliefs and control, we open the door to the unknown. The universe knows no bounds, it is always shifting and evolving. When we align with this flow, we begin to experience synchronicities, serendipitous events, and moments of pure alignment where everything seems to fall into place effortlessly. These moments are signs that we are in resonance with the quantum field and that our desires are beginning to materialize in ways we may not have expected. In many ways, our job is not to control how the quantum field operates, but to align ourselves with its natural rhythms. Just as a river flows effortlessly towards the sea, we must learn to flow with the current of life, trusting that we will be carried to where we need to go. This requires a deep level of trust and surrender, but it also allows us to move with ease through life's challenges, rather than against them. The more we release resistance, the more we open ourselves to the flow of abundance that is always available to us. It's important to remember that the quantum field is always responding to your energy, whether you're conscious of it or not. If you're constantly anxious, doubtful, or fearful, you're sending out a vibration that is out of sync with the desires you want to manifest. But when you align yourself with trust, love, and abundance, you become a vibrational match to the field of infinite possibility. This is why emotional and mental alignment is so crucial to manifestation. Your emotions are a powerful tool for gauging whether you are in alignment with what you want. If you feel resistance, it's a sign that you're still holding on to control or fear. If you feel peace, trust, and excitement, then you know you're in alignment with your desires. The beauty of the quantum field is that it doesn't care about your past or the limitations you think you have. It is limitless, vast, and always available to you. The only thing that can hold you back from tapping into this infinite source of power is your own beliefs, fears, and attachments to the way things should be. As soon as you release these limiting beliefs and open yourself up to the infinite possibilities of the quantum field, your manifestations can begin to unfold in miraculous ways. In essence, the quantum field is a mirror of your inner state. The more you align your thoughts, emotions, and energy with the frequency of your desires, the more you will experience a reality that is aligned with those desires. It's not about forcing or striving. It's about becoming a vibrational match to what you want to create. And as you step into this alignment, you will begin to witness the magic of the quantum field at work in your life. The opportunities, the people, and the experiences that you need will begin to flow toward you effortlessly, because you have allowed yourself to move with the natural flow of the universe. When you fully understand that the quantum field is always responding to your energy, you will realize that you have the power to create whatever reality you desire. But the key is to stop trying to control the process. Stop worrying about how things will unfold, and instead focus on aligning your energy with what you want. Trust that the universe is always working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways that are beyond your comprehension. When you can relax into this knowing, you will experience the full force of manifestation, the effortless flow of your desires into your reality. This is the power of the quantum field. It is infinite, always available, and always responding to you. It is a reflection of your energy, and when you align with it, you become a powerful co-creator of your reality. So, let go of control, trust the process, and open yourself up to the endless possibilities that await you in the quantum field. When you do, you will be amazed at how quickly and effortlessly your desires begin to materialize. Releasing control can be one of the most liberating yet challenging experiences in the journey of manifestation. The natural inclination for many of us is to hold on tightly to our desires, to make sure everything is aligned perfectly, and to oversee every little detail. However, the more we try to control, the more we find ourselves resisting the flow of life. The key to manifesting effortlessly lies in shifting from a mindset of forceful control to one of relaxed surrender. But how do we make this shift, and what tools can help us stop controlling and activate the natural flow of manifestation? The first step is to understand that surrender doesn't mean inaction or passivity. In fact, surrendering control is an active practice. It requires trust, awareness, and presence. It's not about doing nothing, but rather about doing from a place of alignment rather than desperation or fear. One of the most powerful tools in this process is mindfulness. By practicing mindfulness, we train ourselves to become more aware of when we are slipping into control. We learn to notice the thoughts and feelings that arise when we're trying to force something into being. Instead of becoming overwhelmed or caught up in these emotions, mindfulness allows us to observe them without judgment, letting them pass without reacting. This space of observation gives us the power to make a conscious decision to shift our focus from fear to trust. Another powerful tool to release control is meditation. Meditation allows us to quiet the mind and detach from the constant chatter of our thoughts. When we meditate, we create space for our inner wisdom to surface. In this stillness, we can hear the subtle whispers of guidance, trust, and alignment that are always present, but often drowned out by the noise of control. Meditation helps us let go of the need to figure everything out and allows us to simply be. In this state of being, we naturally align with the frequency of what we desire, and manifestation occurs from a place of flow, rather than force. Affirmations also play a key role in this process. Repeating affirmations like, "I trust the process," "I am aligned with the flow of life," or "everything is unfolding perfectly for me" helps reprogram the subconscious mind. These affirmations are not about denying reality, but rather about shifting your mindset and energy toward trust and surrender. When you repeatedly affirm these positive beliefs, they begin to replace the old limiting beliefs that were rooted in control, fear, and doubt. One of the biggest obstacles to releasing control is the fear of uncertainty. We often feel that if we don't manage every aspect of our lives, we will be left adrift in a sea of unknowns. But the truth is, life is always uncertain, and trying to control it only leads to more resistance. The moment we stop controlling, we allow life to show us new paths, new opportunities, and new possibilities. This doesn't mean things will always unfold in the way we expect, but it does mean that we are open to receiving whatever is meant for us in the highest good. When we let go of the need to control, we are allowing the universe to surprise us in the most beautiful ways. To truly stop controlling and activate manifestation, it's important to practice patience and trust in the timing of the universe. Many people get discouraged when their manifestations don't happen immediately, but it's in these moments of waiting that we are asked to strengthen our trust and belief. Trusting the process is not just about believing in the outcome, but about knowing that everything is happening in perfect timing.